Common mistake. We move on to common mistake. Just now we already look at on how, on what, and probably it's best to look at what are the things that you can go wrong. So it's best to know, oh, this is not the right way in the beginning. So just a cartoon here from phdcomic.com. So basically, students say that, oh, I got this. I need this paper. I got this paper. I also got this. So, and then at the end of the day, oh, I got it. I need it. I got it. And eventually, there are things that you do not need to use it. It is just a waste of time. It's just what is it all about, and how you document it, and so on and so forth. So you have to systematically do the process of a literature review. You cannot just, for example, like if someone like to do fishing, right? Okay, you go fishing. So you are being provided with tools. You have your rod, you have your net, and so on. So you can fish as much as you want. Okay, some students, some fishermen will end up to have a pile of fish that they caught. And some fishermen, they only fish or caught a certain kind of fish only, right? So which one is more beneficial? Is it just having what we call it as a big net and just grab everything and bring it to shore, and you find out, oh, this fish you cannot eat. This fish is not valuable. This is too small. This is not meant for our market, right? So, but you must be systematic. It also good that you only fish the fish. You only caught the fish that you want. You don't waste time. So we will see what are the other common mistakes. The first one, the mistake that normally being done is that a researcher or literature review does not clearly relate the findings of the literature review to the researcher's own study. This is very common. So when you have your dissertation or your thesis, right, in the literature review, students just put everything in. They end up to have 100 pages just for the chapter number 2, which is literature review. And at the end of the day, the examiner said, oh, just throw that away. We want only that is related to your work. So you have to find which one of the literature review which is related to your study. Okay, how to do that? Right? Another common mistake, does not take sufficient time to define the best descriptors and identify the best sources to use in literature review related to one topic. Is it you only need to search for pattern? Is it enough? Or you also need to find only journal paper, or you just look at the newspaper? So which one are the best sources, right? You only rely on secondary sources. Okay, secondary sources. What do we mean by secondary sources? So you read only another review paper, okay, where in a review paper, it already the author of a review paper already summarized the finding from an original work. So you read the review paper means it's already considered as secondary sources. You need to find the primary sources, the original paper that being reported or being cited in the review paper. That would be the best, because sometimes a literature review author, they misreview or misrecommend some ideas. So, and the next one is uncritically accept another researcher's finding and interpretation as valid. So you please do not do that. Okay, if you do that, you make assumption it is correct. Okay, rather than examining critically all aspects of the research design analysis. So you must make your own judgment. You cannot say that, oh, I've read this and I assume it is correct. So why? Why you do that? This is also common mistake. Then you do not report the search procedure that were used in the literature review. How do you do a literature review? Where do you start? You have to explain in the methodology part, in the section of the body part of your literature review, on how you approach the problem. Okay, whether you go for historical data, looking at the trend, is it thematic, and so on. You have to explain, right, and report isolated statistical result rather than synthesizing them by chi-square or meta-analytic method. So you need to. Some people just report some outliers, isolated statistical result, and so they feel that, oh, this group of researchers report this finding. They are the only one who report this. So which the majority of other researchers don't do that. Okay, you may end up to have a different recommendation. And that's the last one, common mistake, okay, is that a researcher does not consider contrary findings. They only report the finding that are suit or in line with their own work. Okay, so try not to ignore something that are in talking about in a different perspective. And alternative interpretation in synthesizing quantitative literature. All right, so let us move on how to evaluate a literature review. Right, so probably it's a bit too small for you to read here, but normally this is just a rubric for examiners, for supervisors to see, okay, this is a good literature review, this is not a good literature review. The first category is on the coverage, where we look at whether it is justified criteria for inclusion and exclusion for review. So basically, a good one is basically a rubric of 3: justified inclusion and exclusion of literature. If it is not good, did not discuss the criteria, and so on. So in terms of the synthesis, criterion B, distinguish between what has been done and what needs to be done. Place the topic or problem in the broader scholarly literature. Place the research in the historical context of the field. Acquired and enhanced the subject vocabulary. Articulated important variables and phenomena relevant to the topic. And finally, synthesize and gain a new perspective on the literature. This is just an example how a literature review being reviewed. In terms of the methodology, identify the main methodologies and research techniques that have been used in the field and advantages and disadvantages, related ideas and theories. Okay, rationalize the practical significance of the research problem, rationalize the scholarly significance of the problem, and was written with a coherent, clear structure that supported the review. Right? So this is among others how literature review being reviewed. So that is, you can see that, oh, this is, you need to do this way rather than just ignoring the items. In summary, right, we have looked into the steps to prepare a literature review, and then looking into the mistakes, the common mistakes in writing a literature review. And then you also already know the step to evaluate a literature review, and finally distinguish techniques to write a good literature review. So this just a philosophy behind it. I believe it is also more beneficial when you do it yourself. All right. With that, stay safe. Thank you very much, and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.